Yeah, it's time we rise up together. No more silence, we speak with equal voices. Let's go.
Look, I step on the stage and I'm speaking the truth. Equality's the future, it's time to raise the youth. No more she can, no more he's more. We all got dreams, let's open that door. Power in my pen, justice in my rhyme. Women hold it down, yeah they've been for all time. From queens in the past to leaders today. Don't block the crown, get out the way.
Equal voices rise and shine. Every heart, every soul, every line. Side by side we break those chains. One world, one love, no shame, no pain. Equal voices, we all belong. Different stories, one strong song. Yeah, it's time we rise up together. No more silence, we speak with equal voices. Let's go.
Look, I step on the stage and I'm speaking the truth. Equality's the future, it's time to raise the youth. No more she can, no more he's more. We all got dreams,
Hi everyone and welcome to our podcast channel Voices of Change, where we amplify voices and challenge norms. Today we are going to be diving into a vital conversation on gender equality alongside my guest
Ducky Fresh, aka Fizzle.
and me, Dorcas Kelly. Join us as we break barriers and embrace fairness, building a world where everyone has equal opportunities regardless of their gender. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you too. Can you tell us a bit of yourself and what do you do?
Well, by most people, I go by the name of Ducky Fresh. As I said, aka Fizzle. I am a chef by profession, customer service representative. I am also a chef and a singer, rapper, and songwriter. That is what I do.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
So you mean you can cook good pilau, you can cook good matoke because those are my kind of favorite foods I like. You can cook pilau.
Well, I do a bit of everything. So, I cook, I bake, I do desserts, it's everything. I provide the whole
Nice.
9 yards, including the entertainment itself. So, I'm on a good roll. I'm on a good roll. Yeah.
So, on to my first question. I would like to know how do you understand gender? What does it mean to you personally?
Well, other than the fact that it is identification, I mean, to be able to differentiate between, male and female, I would say on the part of gender equality, it will be basically an ideology in regards of sharing of beliefs, ideas, as well as fundamental functions of society and humanity in general for both men and women. Yeah.
If I may ask, have you ever felt pressured to behave in a certain way as a man?
Oh, a lot, a lot. Unfortunately, it comes with the society of today. As I grew up, I would say that there were a lot of things that I never really thought I'd have to think about as an adult. Now that I'm actually in my adult years, I'm starting to realize that there are certain aspects of adulting that kind of sort of not only put me in a place where I have to just learn certain ways of how to treat people and also treat myself, but also to see the variables that make us who we are, including the good things and the bad that need to be addressed and also maybe indulged in a bit and make changes here and there as I go. I mean, especially being as a man of today. So now is when I'm understanding the fundamentals of like gender equality and what it is like to be myself and also to just learn how to be with others.
So you've never felt any pressure, like you are being forced to behave in a certain way, and maybe you felt like this wasn't me, or
Oh yeah, definitely. Too many times, especially when it comes to like the things that are not in my control, or especially things that unfortunately was not my fault. Yeah, so like unfortunately I feel like I realized that I bear the brunt for a lot of things, especially when it comes to societal norms and societal ideologies that unfortunately being who I am, I carry a certain burdens that with me because of the fact that I am who I am. So there's a way I have to address certain things. There's a way I have to treat people. There's a way I have to carry myself in front of people. There are things I can do and the things that I can't do. So basically um, indulging in those situations and realizing that some things actually carry a lot of pressure, especially being a man, and the things that like I need to be able to prioritize and put forward, and also to pay a lot of attention to. You know, especially when it comes to something to do with behavioral things or the physicality, all of that. So right now is when I'm realizing that there's a lot of pressure on me to be the best man that I can be, not just for myself, but also for other people.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, another question. Have you ever witnessed a woman being treated unfairly at a workplace or in the society? And how were you able to step in to stop that?
Well, I would say for both ends, yes, I've seen it both for myself as a man, but also I've seen it from a woman's perspective as well. And I could use maybe for the female an example. I used to work for a company whereby we were like mixed and all of that. So I would say like my boss was a female. A lot of the women in the company were also like high ranking people. So there's a way that they had a certain respect towards these particular women for not only their jobs, but also what they had to bring to the table in terms of progression, growth, and also just vital learning within the company and the company setting. So I would say that I did witness something like that once before. I'm gonna name names or name the company as such, but yeah, I did witness something that did leave me feeling some type of way. This was actually it's actually a good friend of mine, and she's actually a head of a certain department. This is what was crazy for me was the fact that I didn't actually think I would witness something like that, especially the fact that she was in like a power position,
Okay.
but only for me to realize in itself that even the whole power position thing is kind of sort of
Yeah.
overlooked.
Yeah.
So there was an incident that had occurred with another person who was working in a different department, and they ended up displaying some behavior that was not appropriate. And when she had told me about it, I never really thought that like the workspace would actually, especially like in the corporate sector, I never really thought that some incidents actually would occur like that. So nine times out of 10 is usually like a story you could hear. But for the number of years that I've actually worked, especially with corporate, I had never really seen it like that.
In such an environment,
Yes,
you
especially
don't
in such an
expect.
environment where there's like complexity, there's well organization, you know. So you'd be really surprised to be able to like just see all
A
of this
woman
stuff.
being treated unfairly.
Especially a woman or even a man and stuff. Because I could say I've seen it played both sides so within the same environment. So I was kind of shocked to be able to realize that there's a lot of stuff I really need to work on. So when that whole incident came about, I really thought that because of the fact that she's a respectable person within the company, and also the fact that she had really put in like a good amount of years, and also like really propelled certain projects to the places that they were in, I thought that they would really like take time to listen and really understand, especially the fact that the heads of the particular of especially like let's say like HR and the heads had a certain understanding and love for her, and I thought that they would really like do their best to be able to sort it out.
Can you tell us what happened exactly? How was she treated unfairly, or
Well, I would say, for the most part, that whole situation was put on a pin. Like they just paused it and they're like, we'll come back to it when we come back to it. For now, let's just do A, B, C, D. Don't go outside and tell people about whatever.
what was it about? What happened to her? We really want to know what happened to her, because we've really experienced or
Yeah.
we've really had stories about women being treated unfairly when it comes to power positions. Yeah, when they're competing with men,
Yeah.
there's some way maybe they'll be looked down upon or despised because of their gender. And the way you've told us you've witnessed a
Yeah.
woman being
Yeah.
treated unfairly, we'd love to know what happened, the story exactly, because these are the stories we want to hear and encourage women out there who are going through the same things. Yeah, maybe we can encourage them.
Well, I would say the misconduct was not good. Like I said, I'm not gonna name names or put like titles
Yeah.
to whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be able to just play it safe for now. But yeah, the misconduct that had taken place was not proper. On my part, it didn't really feel proper. And the fact that it was addressed, however it is it was addressed, made me feel some type of way about a lot of things, because not only did she not like get the justice that she should actually have been provided for, because in itself, having to just go ahead and sideline something like that, and then the one of the head many of the times she had, like, the company we were working for had a lot of females in power. So having to know that even in itself the particular females didn't really back her up the way it was supposed to be, or at least the way I was hoping it would be, really made me feel some type of way about it. And having to see that the situation was put on pause, and even the person when eventually just came back to work and everything was hunky dory and would pass each other on the corridors and all that, knowing fully well that whatever it is that they were on was not proper to begin with. And then most of all is out of a situation whereby this person um, lost a way to be able to actually show themselves as a proper person. They really went ahead and fumbled the ball, not just for themselves, but also left a bad mark even for me as an employee and even all the other men in the office, because all of a sudden we have this person who feels some type of way about the men in her environment. We are all working together. We okay, for the most part, most of us have about the same pay. So there's a way it leaves a stain, not just only for the company, but also even just for men in general. Because at the end of the day, for me, that was my colleague. Other than the fact that they were my friend, or they are my friend, that was my colleague. So there's a way I'd feel really bad the fact that the situation was not addressed, and even on the male side as well, because now I have to bear the burden of this person feeling some type of way about it. Not just me, but
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah.
And yet most of us didn't even do nothing. But because of this one person, all of us are now in this detrimental situation whereby now we have to take extra care. We can't just do certain things anymore. We can't even be friends the way we were before. So it kind of sort of like puts us behind on what we're trying to do. So the growth stops. The being nice to each other stops within the office setting. All of a sudden, people are gonna pick sides and all of that, and that's because of the fact that it's not being addressed properly. So I feel like in itself, it was not proper. I
And
wish we could have done
why,
more than. We wish we would have actually done more for that situation.
if I may ask, why do you think the HRs or the person who was in charge could not handle the case well? Why do you think maybe they dismissed whatever accusations she had if she was being treated unfairly? Why do you think nobody was there to stand up for her? Why do you think that happened?
Well, I feel like number one, they probably didn't do whatever these are supposed to do because maybe they were just trying to like push it under the rug, which in itself is very, very wrong. Because if they're gonna go ahead and do that for her, what are they gonna do for me?
Yeah,
You know?
because next time they're coming for you.
Yeah, because in the same situation, we're talking about gender equality, so it's a two-way street. So if in case something was to happen to me, I'm not gonna get the backing that I need. If I'm gonna go ahead and like complain about a certain situation that involves a female, I'm not gonna be addressed the way it's supposed to be. So it kind of goes to show you like how like really messed up how society is in regards to that whole situation. And I feel like certain situations need to have a better understanding, and it needs to have a lot of accountability and also more thought. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to be just for the fact that females feel some type of way. It also comes ahead to us as well as men. So not only does it show that there's no safety for girls or the boys, but also goes to show that there's going to be a lot of picking and choosing. There's going to be a lot of sides that are going to be they're going to be used for us to be able to divide us. There's going to be something that's just going to put us in a place where it's going to be uncomfortable, not only for the female but also for the male. And a lot of times nobody really thinks about the long run. Everybody's just gonna go ahead and just sort out what is in front of their nose. and not whatever this is going to be like long term for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think men can do in workplaces to improve growth for women and leadership positions? As a man, as you, what can you do in your workplace, work area in the society? What can you do to help that girl child or a woman who wants to grow? How can you be of help to them?
Well, number one, the world of today, a lot of women are really playing a vital part in society in terms of economic growth as well as community growth and even in the home. So it actually shows that each one of us actually has a very big part to play. For so many years, we've been talking about how the men should be like this, men should be like that. Now we're also understanding what the female aspect of all of that is. And I feel like as people, we should actually go ahead and have more conversations about involving women in the situation. Nowadays, it's not really about whether the fact that you're a man or a woman. It's about the fact that can you get the job done?
Yeah.
It's not really about just because the fact that I'm a guy, I'm better suited, or because I'm a girl, I'm better suited. Although everybody is switching roles nowadays. We have men who are making the best hairdos out here. You know, we have girls who are making very, very vital decision-making moves when it comes to anything that comes
Even
to
in companies'
political,
growth,
yeah,
yeah.
companies, political-wise,
Yeah.
economy, and even in the home. So right now, I feel like each one of us has a part to play in regards to how we want to move forward. Not just as a household, not just as a community, but also as a country and the world as a whole. And each one of us has something to provide. And when I feel like all of us should actually be able to get a chance to put ourselves out there and just put everything on the table to see what can we do to move forward. And I feel like everybody has something to say. Nowadays, there's no such thing as a bad idea, no matter where it comes from. Yeah.
And if I may ask, do you believe in traditional gender roles? Do you think they are still useful in our today's world? Or what can you say about it?
For me, as a firm believer of
Traditions.
like traditions, I mean more things than others. But I do believe that tradition is something very, very important because it gives us like a backbone into what we should really do as a people. You know, like how we have the basics from the Bible, like, you know the difference between right and wrong, what you should do, what you should not do, and the fact that free will is also something that comes into play. Each one of us has a chance to be able to do whatever we want, whether good or bad. Depending on how you want to move with it is entirely up to you. So I do believe that whatever values and whatever principles that you carry are the ones that are going to take the day. So yeah, I feel like tradition gives us a foundation. It doesn't necessarily necessarily put us in a place where like I can boss you around or anything like that, but it puts us in a place where I understand who I am. You understand who you are. I understand my rules and you understand yours. More likely it will be in a sense of it will put us in a place where we're not going to bicker and argue about certain aspects of how we live. So I feel for me tradition kind of puts us in a place where we can understand each other in the most basic level. So as it grows into something more complex, we won't forget that at the end of the day, there is my part to play, and then there's your part. Then now from there, we go ahead to see the complexities of it. What exactly is your skill set? What exactly is my skill set?
But if we talk about the roles of gender in traditional ways, kuna vitu zenye walikuwa wanafanya which in today's world people are doing differently, or maybe others are still maintaining the same norms and culture. For example, in those days back then, they used to empower the boy child most because they used to feel maybe ukipeleka mtoto wa kisichana shule si hata kuja kuwa provider kama mwanaume, you know.
True.
But I think that one was something that was wrong. And because if you're going to a farm, if you're going to plant seeds, you never know which one is going to bear fruit or is going to grow. So what can you say about it right now? Do you think those roles, or what can you say about a girl child, the way they were used to, the way walikuwa wanachukulia wasichana hiyo time? Unaona, kupeleka msichana shule ni kuharibu pesa, ati boy child. Alafu unapeleka mvulana shule, anakuja anasoma, and maybe they'll never help you, but the girl who you chose not kusaidia, maybe she's the one who comes to save the family. So do you think these gender roles from tradition or other tradition roles for gender, are they applicable at this time?
Well, because times are changing right now, and we can see that now more than ever, it's now more about the effort that you put in rather than what position you play because of the fact that you are who you are. So I would say, for the most part, tradition only makes you understand people. But when it comes to
The roles.
it's slowly changing. I mean, personally, like for example, like I said before, I'm a chef. Back in the day, you can never catch a boy in the kitchen,
Exactly.
you know. But now we're the ones who are setting up the 7 or 5 course meals. We're the ones who are giving out presentations. We're the ones who are actually making a good meal for our girlfriends and our wives when they come back home
And
from a hard day.
restaurants, yeah.
Yeah, and restaurants and so on and so forth. So a lot of things are changing. You know, we have boys who are actually making the best hairdos out here. We have boys who are doing like makeup, a whole bunch of things that initially we thought that had to be, that you have to be a girl to do this, you have to be a boy to do this. These rules are changing. So right now I would say that the tradition aspect of it keeps you grounded in regards to what you perceive is good for you. Because even at the end of the day, when we say you're going to go seek wisdom from the elderly, you're told that when you go ahead and seek wisdom, pick what is good for you. Everybody has something to offer, right? Everybody has something to say. Everybody has an opinion. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to meet a lot of people with reasonable things to tell you. Sometimes it won't even come out the way you want it to come out. And sometimes you have to decipher further than whatever it is you're being told to understand what they're saying. So you have to pick what is good for you. What is not, disregard, or at least put to the side. And if it needs extra thinking, think about it, ponder about it a bit, to be able to really fully understand what you're gaining from what you're being told. Because it's not for nothing you're going to ask this person, I need your advice about A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Like I said, everybody has an opinion, has something to say. But yeah, it's important for you to pick off what is good for you and what is not.
So for you, you're okay if you came home and you found that your wife has not cooked, or maybe the house is dirty. Can you help her clean the house? Can you help her prepare the kids to go and sleep if she's busy working? Because kuna wanaume hawezi mop. They're like, yeye anatoka kazi, akuja apike, aoshe vyombo. They'll just be seated kwa meza, amekelea juu, miguu kwa anakisa, you know?
Yeah,
and
I understand.
it feels unfair ati sababu wewe ni mwanaume, umetoka job mbele yangu na uwezi pika, you can't clean. You're waiting for the woman atoke. You know, hiyo inakaa ni burden. So as you, as Douglas, can you do it? Can you help your woman with chores around the house?
Well, I don't mind helping out my person. I mean, that's my person. I'm going to help them out. But mostly, how I'm going to answer this question is coming from my perspective. For me, I am a clean person. I'm an orderly person. If I go back home and I find that the place is looking some type of way,
Yeah.
if the kids are around and they need A, B, C, D, I don't have to be told twice. Like if I have kids, I'm a parent. Why am I waiting for my wife to tell me what I'm supposed to do? That's number one. Number 2, it's my house. My house has to be clean. My house has to be orderly.
But you have a wife. Kuna
She's
wanaume wanasema
she's
hivyo.
not around. I'm going to starve until she shows up. I'm a hungry man. I need to eat. You know? Yeah, I need to have a dwelling place of peace. She might provide the peace, but also she has work to do. Same thing for me. It just so happens I got to the house first before she got to the house first. So when that time comes, of course I'm going to go ahead and clean up. I'd like for her to find a place where, like, we're in this together. When you come home, you're going to come home to peace, love, and a whole bunch of niceness. I want the same thing for me, right? When she's at home, she can do that for me. When I'm home, I'm going to do that for us. And also, in its own sense, I will do it for me to make me happy.
So you feel the traditional roles cannot be applicable right now?
Like
Because
I
niko
said.
sure time ya mababu zetu maguka, they wouldn't
Yeah.
step ati kupikia watoto kwa jiko. So I think these traditional roles right now, they're being eradicated, and people are starting to understand that it's about supporting each other. You know, it's not about you're a woman, you're supposed to do this, you're a man, you're supposed to do this. It's just the combination of effort, and it brings results. So we agree that those roles are not applicable right now. But yeah, yes, we need
Like I said before, it depends on what you get from the information you receive. Whatever you are told, if it applies to you in context to the life that you live, pick what is good for you. What does not apply, don't.
And what if your parents are the ones pushing you to do it?
Like I said, traditions create the foundation. Traditions, like I'll give you a good example, yeah? Traditions teach me that I need to be a strong man. I need to be a wise man. I need to be a leader. I need to be a provider. I need to be calm under pressure. I need to protect not just my family, but the people who I know and love. Tradition puts me in a place where I understand my values. I know what is right and wrong. Tradition puts me in a place where I can be able to sit in a room full of men and actually have a say at the table. So I would say that traditions give you a foundation of what is good for you. But from there, whatever it is you pick up from people is important.
What works for you?
What works for you, especially for the situations that not only benefit you, but also put you in a place of understanding. Because like I said, 9 times out of 10, everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to tell you something. But it's up to you to decipher what you're being told. Are they telling you the right things? Are they putting information into your heart and mind that puts you ahead of the game? Are they blessing your steps as you keep going? You know, anything out of that you should not take up with you, because not only is it going to go ahead and burden your heart, but it's also going to give you a different ideology of how you're supposed to not only treat yourself, but treat others. So I would say, for the most part, tradition only gives a wonderful foundation. Decision-wise, in this day and age, depends on what exactly you want to pick up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just pick what works for you.
Yeah.
So there are norms, we agree there are norms and cultures that were used to practice back then. But as a person mwenye ako saizi in a digital world where things and roles have changed, you know, you have to pick what works for you.
Yeah, because 9 times
Because there are toxic cultures from back then, from traditions.
It's for both sides, not just for women, even for dudes. There's something that's so unfair to me. I'm just like, come on, bana. This is what I'm going to be doing, you know. Yeah, so I feel like, that's why I'm really insistent on the fact that you pick what is good for you, because it's not just for the women alone, even for dudes, man. There's things we hear. I'm just like, why? And you know, and then I'm told, no, I'm not supposed to ask why, because of ABC.
Like, for example, men, mnaambua mwezi lia. Like, mwanamke saizi, nikikuwa, like, if I'm stressed, there's a lia openly, I can scream and people will come and comfort me. But as a man, if you receive, let's say, bad news and you're on the road, if you start talking to yourself and crying, people say you as crazy, yeah?
Actually, what's crazy is the fact that as a man, I'm not allowed to actually express how I really feel about whatever it is my situation is. I'm supposed to 9 times out of 10 be like, oh, I'm not supposed to cry, I'm not supposed to be ABCD. Hey, I sleep and wake up, I'm told my friend is dead. I sleep and wake up, I feel bad. And I genuinely will feel bad about it. You know, something didn't go my way. I'm allowed to feel the way I'm supposed to feel. I can go to a corner and just breathe in and out for 2 seconds.
Something else I also say, because we are all humans, despite being a man or a woman, we are all humans. We all perceive emotions, we all cry, we also break down. So I don't think hiyo kusema ati mwanaume afai kulia ama afai kuonyesha emotions, I think that's unfair. We all have to express ourselves at some point and receive comfort or maybe encouragement. Yeah,
and not just that, also to be able to really understand how we feel, because I feel like as men we carry a lot of things within our bodies and our minds. And 9 times out of 10, because of the way that we are told to address it or told how to deal with it, sometimes it doesn't go the way it goes for us. And sometimes we need guidance and we need to be able to understand how we feel. Rarely do we talk to each other, and not until recently. By the way, now that we have like men forums and we have what, and now we can sit down and then. Back
Men's
then, man say you die,
conference,
you die. You know, back then, man say your feelings are your own, and you carry that shit to the grave. That is you.
Yeah.
You know, and for the most part, that's exactly what made us really tired. That's exactly what made us like steer away from reality in a way
Sure.
and be disconnected from so many things, things like family, friendships, connections and relationships, so many things. And 9 times out of 10 is because of the fact that as men, we really didn't have a way to be able to understand how we really feel. Girls have the perfect way to deal with it. From girl power to the forums, you can keep going on and on and on.
And that's why we
on.
have this podcast right now.
Yeah.
To educate people that we should
Exactly.
not, like, tunafaa kuwa si wote fair. If a man has a breakdown, get easy on them. Yeah. Like something like that.
Because you can imagine it's easy for girls will come together, talk to you, feel bad, and you know, you guys will hug it out, and the next day everything's gonna be fine. Me, if I have a breakdown, I kid you not, somebody somewhere on the line is calling a doctor for psychiatric help, and all I probably needed was just to stop feeling bad, to have my friend just talk to me and tell me it's okay. But all of a sudden, I'm not stable. I am not this. I'm not that, and other terms that don't even come to mind, even for me as a person, you know.
Yeah.
And it leaves me in such situations. I'm just like, hi. Like, I'm just feeling bad about this. All of a sudden now, I'm on watch. About what? I'm doing this. Po. So I feel like, to some extent, it needs to be like have a fair playing ground for all of us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And do you think the current systems we have, like, for example, education, when it comes to education, when it comes to employment, when it comes to leadership opportunities, politics, do you think men and women are being treated fairly when it comes to education, politics?
Yeah. Well, as a man in a third world country, we have a lot of work to do in regards to that situation.
Yeah.
But I am happy the fact that there are strides that are being made towards that situation. Because now we have women in politics who are making wonderful strides, not just leading females, but also males in regards to certain roles. We are now applying certain formats that show that nowadays I don't have to be just that. You have to be good at what you do. It's about the effort that counts, no matter if you're a guy or a girl. So I feel like we are headed there. We are slowly heading there. It's slow, but I like the fact that as Kenyans and also as a person living in a third world continent, we are headed towards that direction. Slowly but surely, you can see women rising up, making certain critical and analytical decisions. We're also part of the table. Now we want to actually have not just a stand, but also want to understand what nurturing these particular decisions come with. You know, we might decide we want to do A, B, C, D, but from a female's perspective, we'll also learn how to deal with individuals. We'll know how to be able to assess and understand what people need. Nowadays, it's not about, where fanya. Nah, you have to sit down and really understand each individual that comes in front of you. And yeah.
If I may ask, why do you think Kenya can elect a female president? Or do you think they can't support a female president? And why is it so?
Like I said, slowly but surely we are getting there. And also, like I said before, it's not really about the fact that you're a guy or a girl anymore.
But there are people bado akili zao wanaona tukiongezwa na mwanamke ako na moods, wanawake they wake up today like let's face it, like Tanzania.
Yeah. Personally, good example. Tanzania has a female president and so far everything looks like it's going okay for them.
Yeah.
Plus me in my own country, in this lovely Kenya where we have a man as a president, I'm getting my ass kicked left, right, and center. You know, every day I sleep and wake up is just something new that it just bothers me.
Exactly.
You know, and for them, I can see that there's a lot of progression going on.
There's
For some
peace.
strange reason, like I'd even give a good example. Me being as a chef, I understand a lot about tourism, and a lot of tourists are now changing their minds about coming here and going there. You know, 9 times out of 10, I do believe that, like I said, if you're qualified for the job, you can do it. It doesn't really matter who you are anymore. You know, right now, I can give you a good example. The police force changed to the point where we have like a dog unit. Right now, a dog is a police officer. That's a dog. Yeah, but it's being given full honors and everything, just like another man and another woman. So nowadays, everything has changed. Doesn't depend on who you are as a person.
They
Are
even
you
get
good
burial ceremonies if
You
they
know,
die.
21 gun salute and everything.
Yeah.
So right now, if you are qualified for the particular job, you can be able to do it. Some things need time, and I feel like living in this country, our time is slowly coming because we're giving women chances, and women are not failing us. You
Okay.
know, and also, yeah, and of course, there's work to do. Not every day is a good day. Not kila siku Sunday.
Kweli.
Yeah. But for the most part, there's a lot of effort that is being put
Kwa sababu, the reason why I asked that if women are getting and men are getting the same opportunities in education, and it's because ukiangalia sana, personally myself, I'm a media personality. But most of the times when I went to, let's say, to ask for work or jobs, like unapata kuna ile manager anakuangalia zile za and you're pretty, you know, anataka kidogo pia mwingiane na yeye, you do stuff for him, you start engaging so that atakupatia kazi. Unaona? So it's really a challenge to women. For men, yeah. I don't know if have you ever faced any challenge as a man in a office whereby you had a boss who's a lady?
Yeah.
Who was into you?
Oh, yeah. That's happened.
Tell us about it.
That's happened to me a few times, and I think that was one of the things that also made me realize that slowly it's no longer about like girls being. Si madem siku hizi wanaonewa anymore.
Yeah, si madem peke yake wanaonewa.
Right, sahi, anything or
Si
anything.
mabosi anataka madem peke yake.
Anything or anything, man. There have been situations where I've seen men being put on leashes by girls who are bosses, and even the same sex, you know. It's like right now, nobody is safe. Nobody is safe at all. So, like, it's a lot of work to be able for people to have not only accountability, but to also know how to address certain situations for the best of both sides. So right now, I can't just really say it's atik mademo naoneo manini. Me personally, as a person who's felt it, I can tell you for free, for the first time in a long time, or at least for the first time ever, I realized, ish. Like,
Kuna kabos kamadhe kanakufungia macho.
And then the time I'm like, I'm not even that into you like that, you know.
Oh.
And you know, we'd go ahead and hide it behind.
But will they go to an extent to, let's say, sack you if you maybe you didn't cooperate? Because I've been in a situation whereby I had to quit the job because the boss was like very serious.
I tell you for free, I'd probably say it for even a lot of men, it's about the same thing.
So men also go through that.
We won't talk about it so much because of the fact that, you know, kasai wenyewe kwa wanaume si uchochana for the most bogus things, yani. You know, you'd go ahead and say, oh, but my boss is into me and all of that, and everybody be like, yeah. And anaweza nini, she's a pretty woman, nini, go fanya unafanya nini, not knowing in real sense
how it's affecting you.
Like real talk. If you're like in an office setting, they're doing the wrong thing. You are a victim of something that is very, very wrong. Because it's easy for a girl to come and say that I did A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Me as a man to go ahead and say something like that will either be picked off as being weak or be picked off as me being a coward towards something that honestly is not even right to begin with. You know? it's easy. Like right now, it's easy for a girl to be able to take me anywhere, from prison to, even my narrative cannot even be the same in front of a girl. As when a girl says it, turns into something else. But for a dude, when I go ahead and say something about a certain situation, it'll be picked off into something that is so unorthodox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for some strange reason, when it comes to females, we have to play it by the book. But why doesn't it work for me? You know, my feelings actually do matter. The way I want to be addressed does matter. The way that I want to be taken as a man really does matter. So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be in a situation where like that, for using an example, my boss is into me. I'm not into her like that though, because of the fact that I know the code of ethics when it comes to work. But she's gonna go ahead and slide because of it. But for me, not so much. And then now, of course, my narrative against her is when she says something, hey, I am a goner. I am a goner.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other way around, to be pushed under the table, and even at some point I lose respect as a man for my peers because of
I
ABCD.
know.
And
Yeah.
it's so wrong. It's really, really wrong. And a lot of people tend to ignore that bit, not knowing fully well that gender equality means all of us.
Yeah.
Not specifically one side, or because of, all of us should be balanced. All of us should be able to take care of each other. All of us actually matter in the end. Yeah.
What's that one stereotype about men and women that you would like it to come to an end?
Okay. First off, I'm going to say this. Live. Anybody who goes ahead to say stuff like, sharing is caring, Nairobi is one big bed, blah, blah, blah. You are cursing yourself. But they look at me and look at me well, and I'm saying it in front of this camera. You are cursing yourself because you are setting yourself up for failure to begin with. Each one of us individually has a story that we are trying to derive from. We're not going to all of us feel the same thing. It is so unfair, the fact that for me as a person, I'm going to be treated some type of way because of how I look, or the way I talk, or the way I portray myself in front of people. Same thing for women. There's no way as a man I'm going to look at a girl and be like, she's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, without having to actually take a second look at it. And I feel like that's where we all feel. We are so mean and unkind to each other as people, as genders, and so many things in between, to the point where we lose perspective on what really, really counts. Now, for the most part, I do not want to, just because I have a bed and once on an occasion I rock a nose ring, I'll be told that, oh, gee, I'm a hoe. Oh, I'm a player. I'm this and that.
There's that perspective where people when you have
Exactly.
earrings.
Exactly. And then same for women, because she wants to dress the way she feels like. She's comfortable in her own skin. She is a boss in her own right. But now I want to go ahead and call her whatever I feel like because it doesn't suit
you,
my narrative or
That's
however I
unfair.
feel. That is so unfair. So and I feel like that goes ahead to just mess up a lot of things for both of us. And all we had to do initially was just sit down and be like, hey, what's up? My name is Douglas. What's your name? Tell me something about you, and I'll tell you something about me. And, we break it down, and we actually come to a conclusion, whether it's friendship or whatever that comes our way. At the end of the day, there was a certain format that we used to treat each other properly. So I feel like that's something we need to just really stop, because it really blocks us from a lot of stuff.
For me, that one stereotype that I have to address, and it needs to be broken, by the way. It's when men are being told it's okay for men to cheat, it's okay for men to go out and party, wakuje home late. But ikifika ni mimi, the woman, nimevumilia, like unakuwa kwa society unaonekana mwanamke unafaa uvumilie ndoa, even if sometimes unapata hata abuse, someone is being beaten, mtu anateswa na watoto wake, but unapata family iko hapo tu, like, it's your marriage, you've been together for 10 years, just vumilia, usivunja ndoa. Like, why is it that a man can cheat but a woman can't cheat? Why is it that you can go out with friends, hang out, come late at night but a woman can't do. Do you think there is gender inequality there? What do you have to say?
Not by the.
I love to hear your opinion
actually,
about
also,
that.
Also, another thing that also needs to be addressed as well, because that is so uncool.
What do you think? Why should men wajipe hiyo ruhusa ya kucheat?
Yeah.
Lakini huwezi taka mwanamke. Kwanza a man can cheat 1,000 times a year. Lakini ile siku tu mwanamke amecheat siku moja, huyu mtu anakuwa mgonjwa. They want a divorce and they are overreacting and stuff. Like, that's unfair. You've been unfaithful for the longest time, but when I step out and try to do something else, mbona inakuuma? So I feel that there's gender inequality, because if you respect me, I'll respect you, and there must be boundaries. Hakuna venye unaenda kupati until from Friday ati unakuja saa tatu kwa nyumba. And there are men who do that. And huwezi muuliza ako kwake. Unaona? Another ukiuliza unapata bibi anachapwa. Unaona? So I think that's something that should end. It should be broken immediately.
Yeah.
If you want respect, show me respect. If you want love, love. Because women reciprocate whatever they receive from the men. So whatever you're giving me, if I give it back to you, mbona huwezi handle? Unaona?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one stereotype I would love tuangalie, because that's unfair and that's unkind. Unatesa moyo wa mwanamke. Imagine wewe uko kwa nyumba tu umeng'ang'ana kulea mtoto, unanyonyesha mtoto, umeosha vyombo, umemop, umekuja hivi, umefanya, and then the man ako tu mahali ma boys tu. Kwanza kinya naongelelea tu anaongelea maybe hata madem, hata waongelee football. Anyway, that's one stereotype for me.
Actually, just to add on a bit to that, well, because of the fact that times have changed, it is now running on both sides. It is not cool for nobody to do something like that. Depending on whatever circumstance you have, because some people will use things like religion, people will use, all sorts of things to be able to make themselves a whole lot better, or at least make themselves feel better. Number one, it is not even right to do so. Why are you going behind your partner on something that is really, really important, especially your relationship?
They're expecting you not to treat them the same way.
Exactly. Number two, if you are, like, I would say, if you're going to go ahead and do certain things, number one, if there's somebody else involved, please, do yourself a favor, do her a favor, do the rest of the world a favor. Make sure that you clean yourself up. If you're going to go ahead and do some misfit behavior, at least let go of the other person.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you actually conflicted about it, remember that there's another person in this situation.
Yeah.
Don't go ahead and just be like, it's okay because of ABCD. It's not okay. No matter what you want to use it as, it is not okay. As long no matter how you're going to put it, it is just not okay. It's not.
Kwa sababu huwezi fanyia mtu vile ambavyo wewe huwezi taka kufanyiwa. Unaona? And if we go in the biblical perspective, even God is portraying man and woman to be the same. He didn't say man is more important or man is more powerful. To God, we are all the same.
The same, yeah. From the dust you are brought up, from the dust you will go back to. There's nothing. All of us are just we are minute grains of sand in his lifetime of everything. So kuna venye tu yani.
Usifanye tu kile mtu kenye utaki kufanya. If you know you don't want to be treated badly, don't treat people badly.
Exactly.
If you know you don't want to be cheated, don't cheat. Don't go partying the whole night and expect this woman is just going to sit there and forgive you. Tunekanga vitu kwa roho, we pile.
And the same thing for the men as well.
Hata yeye pia maybe. Because
don't be okay with your girl going out and doing all sorts of things, and then for her to come and tell you some other story and be okay with it. Like, it does not cut it. Nobody is exempted from
disrespect.
Yeah, nobody is exempted from whatever it is that is supposed to be right, whether a man or woman. Do what is right. Yeah.
And what advice can you give young boys growing up about respecting women? Because saizi internet imekuja na vitu mingi, and I feel like for young boys and young girls, kwa sababu media imekuja na vitu mingi, kuna contents mingi, so they tend to perceive other negative things. Mtu anaona maybe a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man, and then unaona it's okay. Unaona, cause like niliona kwa movie, kwa telenovela, unaweza slap boy My friend.
Napiga mtu
Kuna
kofi
wanaume-
hapa akurudishie ngumi.
akurudishie ngumi akutoe meno. So I feel like hata kama umekosewa huwezi fanya hivyo, but what can you advise sana sana, because you're a man, what can you advise a young boy is growing up about respecting women, and why is it important to respect a woman?
Well, first, I will say that for the young boys, learn how to respect yourself. The love and the time and attention you'll give yourself, it will give you true understanding about the other side. If you do not know how to deal with yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you will not know how to deal with anyone else.
Yeah.
Not your neighbor, not even your mother, your sister, nobody. If you do not take time out to understand who you are as a person, you will never be able to actually learn other people. That's number one. Number two, we should learn. I'll actually use a quote that I heard. This particular person, actually, it's a funny story. He's the voice behind Optimus Prime, the Transformers. He said that in an interview that voice that he uses, my name is Optimus Prime, is actually his brother. His brother sounds like that, not him. So he mimicked his own brother. But his brother told him that the role that you're going to take is going to be a role of a lifetime, that you're going to actually encourage a lot of men. You're going to go ahead and be a hero to a lot of people who need it. But one thing you need to learn is be strong, but be strong enough to know when to be gentle. That, and I learned, when I heard that actually is something that I took with me to the heart, because I realized that is what a lot of men and boys need. Be strong, be very, very strong, but be strong enough to know when to be gentle. So know when to be gentle with women. Learn to understand how they work. Not in the aspect of just dating alone, because I mean, people say dating is a game, is ABCD. There is that
There's
factor,
much to it, yeah.
but also there is a factor to play just in terms of individuality. Know how to treat women properly. Know how to talk to them. Know how to be around them. Know how to address certain concerns when it comes to them. Personally, I have my mom and I have my sister. So I take a lot of consideration how I'd want to treat another female based on how I'd want to talk to my mom or my sister.
Yeah. And there's this story that has been trending about Mulamwa, whereby after amekosana na Ruth K, ameenda online, amejaribu kumtukana and stuff. Na ni watu walikuwa wanapendana wawili. They had secrets, they shared the same meal, shared the same house, shared the same bed. And it's really disappointing to realize like Mulamwa I heard that alituma nudes kwa baba ya Ruth K. What do you have to say?
Is that even real?
Yeah, alituma nudes kwa baba ya Ruth K. And sasa nashindwa. The problem is it that the way men are being raised ndo kuna shida? Ama mtu anaraiziwa vizuri anakuja anachange akiwa mkubwa? Like, I'm trying to understand how comes this is someone who is the mother of your kid. Huyu ni mtu anakuja home anakupikia. She's your fallback. If you come home you're sick, you're drunk or anything, she'll shughulikia you, you know. So inakuaje leo mmekosana, you forget all of those good things and then you start kumwingilia online, kumtuanisha na akona mtoto wako. Like, I don't know, make me understand how do you come to a point like you can you do that? Send nudes to your father-in-law? Hata kama hiyo ni violation. I don't know what to say about that, but it's really shocking. The way nilikuwa na respect for Mulamwa, sijui ni withdraw, lakini I don't know what he needs help. Huyo ndo anahitaji help vizuri.
Well, if I'm going to be very, very honest, this is new information you're giving me right now. So right now I'm just like, what?
Yep.
He did what?
Yep.
So because of the fact that I really don't know what exactly the story is about, and based on what you're telling me, in my perspective, based on the information I've just learned, first off, me as Douglas, I have a lot of peers who are older than me. Most of my friends are not my age, they're older than me. So I tend to find wisdom. I tend to find wisdom in people who have experience. That's number one. Number two, I have a lot of uncles. My dad is there, so there's a way I can see that there are ways that I'm not supposed to act because of a disagreement or a particular circumstance or situation that involved a woman. There's a way I should handle myself. There's a way I'm supposed to handle her.
Is it because umetoka kwa familia they're broken, or maybe the dads wanakuanga na because dads play a big role when raising.
They do. Dads, uncles, even if they're not related, as long as they have a title in your life, there's somebody significant who'll be able to actually show you and teach you how to.
And you look up to.
Yeah, look up to and see how you're supposed to deal with yourself as you continue to progress and grow. So I don't know where exactly he comes from or however exactly he gets his morals and values. But what I would say is that was not proper. That is a lot of disrespect, especially the fact that a man is going to go ahead and send another man his daughter's pictures. That says a lot about him as a person, and that also goes to show you how messed up it is. Like remember when I told you before, you need to learn to pick what is good for you, what is right. And I feel like that is an unfortunate habit that we have to deal with, especially in this time of today. I don't understand when people go ahead and do, even dudes and chicks. Why would it be okay in a situation where you're going to be in a disagreement to go ahead and do something like that?
Yeah.
That's not even proper. Actually, as much as, like, say, I can use me as an example. If I had a girl and go ahead and like draw pictures of me showing my provocative side, me as a person, I will look very, very shady. But for her, it's going to look 10 times worse because why would you think of doing something like that? What kind of person are you to do that? To have no respect to the point where you assume it's okay to do that. I mean, you're sending this shit to somebody's dad. Are you serious?
It happened, and I'm really sorry to Ruth K. I just hope you find peace, and I hope your parents will forgive you. But this sends a message. Like, if it was Mulamwa, Ruth K who had done that to him, I'm sure he wouldn't have taken it lightly. Angesikia vibaya. But hiyo kukua tu mjeuri, naona tu let me just wacha tu nimwaribie, unatumia mzazi. Like, that shows that something is wrong in our society, even right now, and still gender equality inafaa kuwa kweli inaongelelewa kwa undani zaidi. We are still far, the way you've said, we are still far, because kuna heshima fulani imepungua. Kitambo ungefanya kitu kama hiyo, right? Yeah, kuna hizo morals. So there are good morals, there are good norms about traditions, and they are bad. Like, there are also people from other cultures, like let's say Luo. They believe kupiga mwanamke ni vizuri. And surprisingly, even the women, some women from Luo culture, wanaamini ukipigwa na bwana, now you are a wife. Na mimi mamangu saizo ananiambia usipigwe na bwana ama usipigwe na mwanaume yoyote. Unaona? So there are negative culture, and there's positive cultures that we need to choose ni gani unafuatilia. But ukiona ni kitu nafanyia mtu enye wewe huwezi taka kufanyiwa, please don't do it. Think first. If it's you being done dirty, hivyo utafanya aje? So don't do it. Just epuka tu. Yeah, and thank you so much. And on to my last question. I would love to understand or to know, what are you planning, or what are you committing? What is that one thing you're committing to do after this discussion as a man? I know you have learned a lot. I've also learned some things. What is that one thing that you promise to commit? And when you're going to be having conversations with other men out there, what is it that you commit to do differently based on gender equality? Okay.
Well, I would say I have been doing it, but of course, because of this conversation, it will be highly emphasized. I will be a whole lot more open-minded, especially about the involvement with women, especially in what I do, in regards to how I earn my living and also my other co-curricular activities, especially like when it comes to music. Because for me, being an artist, women are my muse. Women give me wonderful songs,
Wow.
give me wonderful experiences, and also, I mean, we've basically built empires and crushed them because of women. We have fought, we've done all sorts of. So there's a way. Women, especially in my field of work, women play a very vital role, not just as inspiration, but also the people who give appreciation and love to what I do. You know, a lot of times women are the ones who repost me and my music. Women are the ones who go ahead and support me highly. You know, so so there's a way to yani, I have a very very special place for women in my heart, and I feel like I would be able to add them more to whatever it is that I do. Of course, I'd like to have more conversations with my fellow men in regards to how to treat them a whole lot better,
Exactly, yeah.
how to be able to address certain issues when it comes to
Support their
ourselves
growth,
as
yeah.
men, to two girls, and also just to find a better way to live with each other on this planet. There's only so much land we have. This planet is covered by almost 60% water. There's only so much land, so we have to learn how to be proper with each other to be able to survive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you so
I
much.
hope, guys, this has been an inspiration to you and eye opening. See you next time.
Thank you.